Hello, everyone. This is Joe Kirkner from the Animal Advocates of South Central PA, and I am joined with John Beck and Hamir. And we're here to talk about Hamir's restaurant and veganism, and as part of the Animal Advocates mission to promote a more compassionate world, just get the word out there about all the great things going on in our community. So hi, John. Hi, Hamir. How's it going?
Hello.
Hey, thank you. Hello, gentlemen. Thank you for having me here today.
It's our pleasure. Hamir, can you just tell us a little bit about yourself and how you got started at your restaurant in York?
Sure, absolutely. It started as a cooking for a cause. A friend of mine, a very good friend of mine, her name is Denise Gilliland. She was diagnosed with breast cancer about 6.5 years ago. And I'm a foodie actually. So, I'm a self-made, self-taught chef as well. This is what brought my cooking skill forward. And just like everybody else, I was getting tired of the same flavors presented everywhere else. I just wanted to bring something forward, something unique, something intense, flavorful for everyone. So I was dabbling a little bit here and there in cooking, Food Network channels, researching recipes. So one day, a friend of mine was diagnosed with breast cancer. And a month later, actually, my sister-in-law was also diagnosed with breast cancer. So I went to them, and then I said, what can I do to help? How can I help out? Can we raise awareness? What can I do? When Denise, she used to come to my sister-in-law to every now and then to visit, and she tried my food, and she always said, "Hey, you should open a restaurant." I said, "Yeah, sure, sure, okay." When this happened to her, she said, "Hey, you have a passion for cooking. Why don't we do cooking for a cause?" So we did that. She invited 12 individual friends of hers to her home, and we did the whole spread out. And then the money we generated from that, the revenue was donated to Pink Chapter for breast cancer charity. And then some of you may already had my very first recipe from there. Some of you may already had coconut curry. So that's how it all started out. And then from there on, a lot of people, the 12 individual friends that she invited were very interested in having me offer some more dishes. So I started creating some more dishes. I became friends with a few of the ladies there. And then whenever I created the recipes, it went through sampling through the process with a few of the friends there. And then once I got a green light from everyone, it became a recipe for the book for future use. So what I started doing is I used to work for a fast food chain back then. For 10 years I did. So on a day off, I would create a recipe, and then I would sample it out, and then also put it on the Facebook. Okay, this week's special is coconut curry. Whoever people would message me and say, "Hey, can you deliver to my house so-and-so day?" I said, "Sure, absolutely." So word grew in the community as I delivered from home to home. It was a home base started out. I practice food safety at home. As any business that are existing, most start out from either garage or from home. And this is one of the business started out that way. And help from many, many supporters, such as yourself, guys. And I continue to thrive through the support. And when I think of myself, am I in the restaurant business? I am not, actually. I'm in the people business.
That's amazing.
I'm here to serve the guest. And that's how I look at things. That's how I conduct my business. And that's how it started out. And then the word grew in the community. Taste Test came along. I gave it an opportunity to gauge the business, and there's a demand for it. And then something else that I offer on a regular day basis, as we've talked earlier, is the table visits that I do. And that brings forward even more connection with the guest and their interest in what they're looking forward to coming to the restaurant for. And then I create recipes based on that. So it's a lot of things that happened 6.5 years ago that brought me forward here. Just a passion for cooking and for flavors, introducing unique flavors, different processing, unique and forwarding, and bring forward different flavors. And that's what I enjoy.
One of the reasons we have you on the show is that when people ask, what's a good vegan restaurant in York, or I'm vegan, where can I go for a good meal? There's a short list of places that people always throw out there, and Hamir's is at the top of that list as one of the best places to go for a unique vegan meal that's not just a salad or another veggie burger or something like that, but actual really good food that happens to be vegan. So can you talk a little bit about the vegan options you have and your thoughts on it, and any other insights into your vegan practices at your restaurant?
Absolutely. So as I said earlier, I think of it myself as I'm in the people business and their needs. So in the beginning stages of the restaurant, Hamir's Indian Fusion, about 2.5 years ago when we opened in downtown, all the recipes were made, typical Indian base. Instead of oil, it's clarified butter. It's standard in Indian terms called ghee. So that's what's used in my recipes as a base. sautéing onions, rest of the spice blends. As I visited more tables, there were actually requests for vegan options. So I changed my entire way of thinking the base of the recipes, and I cut out the clarified butter, and I just use canola oil, and I still bring forward special flavors. It's just how you create the flavors with it. It doesn't matter what you use. It's the flavoring, the spices that you use. But I've gotten more grasp of learning how to use those spices and have more sense now as I grow myself. And then so I've changed the recipe to cater to everyone as a base. So most of my dishes are vegan. Most of them are. 99% of the dishes that I offer are vegan. Even the tikka masala sauce, I used to use cream in it to finish. Traditionally, it's cream based. I use coconut milk now. So as the last vegan night we had, I tried the tikka made with coconut milk. So it's vegan now. It doesn't compromise any flavors. So most of the dishes are flavors. I cater to what everyone is saying, even the gluten free. So when I think of a recipe, if anything that I make, okay, can I create it first vegan? Can I create it and make it gluten-free? And slowly I build the base upon it. Certain things I have to have certain items in it, but that's the thinking I go forward when I create a base of a recipe.
That's amazing.
And use fresh spices, ingredients, even the seeds, the coriander powder, cumin powder. It's not a store-bought. I have seeds I grind. I dry roast them and I grind the seeds and I make it per batch. And I do not overstock anything. I grind it per batch.
That's incredible.
And therefore the preparation takes a little longer than usual. Typical Indian restaurant, the way a typical Indian restaurant operates, and I wish everyone a success, absolutely. It's a different operation method they use. It's just like Italian restaurant. They probably have the base gravies or sauces. So for Indians, one is tomato-based sauce with spices in it, and one is onion-based sauce. And then they use that with other dry spices to create their bases. So what I found out from visiting many restaurants and over the time before getting into cooking is not only the dishes taste the same, they look the same as well. So I wanted to break that mold, and then I wanted to create each of my dishes, I not to repeat the flavors in it, individual flavors in each of the dishes. So therefore the base is completely different. I don't have any sauces that I use as a base of it. Everything is created with its own base. Therefore the preparation takes a longer time. And that's something that I wanted to bring forward. And freshness as well, and unique flavors. Bring forward unique flavors as well.
You mentioned vegan nights at Hamir's. Can you talk a little bit more about that? Any other specific interactions you have with the vegan community?
Absolutely. And then a friend of ours, Anna, John, she's the one that approached me with having a vegan event. I didn't know much about it. As I learned as well what is our community is comprised of in flavors profile and also the health benefit that it brings forward. I started thinking, and therefore I started immediately creating recipes based on that. And it took me a little while before she approached me, because I just can't bring anything forward just like that. It has to have flavors to it. It has to be at least decent for me to even sample it out and then bring forward, so everyone can enjoy. And then food brings people together. It brings community together. And there's a huge amount of, I learned there's a huge amount of vegan community where we are, and from everywhere. The vegan night brings forward people from everywhere. Harrisburg, Lancaster, Hanover, as we've seen in vegan nights, have been successful bringing that forward. And then, and it's just interacting with our guests, communicating with them, see what are they looking for, what makes them happy. And it's all about guests and their experience. And therefore, I even energizes me to bring forward certain things for a certain guest. And it's all about that, learning our vegan community. The fair you have, the vegan fair at the Counselor Park.
Oh yes, Veg Fest.
I haven't had a chance to be there because I'm always at the restaurant.
But you did cater it, and it was delicious.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for
absolutely,
that.
Absolutely. And it's just helping out. It's people helping people. That's it. It's all about that end of the day. That's all that matters to me. People helping people. It is not. Look, it started as a cooking show for a friend of mine, and I've done many cooking shows even after that for many charities. So the foundation of my business is for giving and caring. And money did not bring me to the restaurant. Money is not on my list. It is about people. How do you care for them? What makes you happy? It's all about people. So money is not on my list. I'm not there for money aspect. It is not. It is not. I bring forward unique experience, bring forward special interest for example, vegan community. Tell me more and more about, what you would like to, what interests you as far as vegetables-wise, the flavors you're looking for, different things that I can do. If I can incorporate it in my daily routine, I would be more than happy to sample it out, bring it forward to them. It is healthy. Look, I'm telling you, I enjoy all the cuisines, every kind of food. And slowly but surely, I'm leaning more towards the vegetarian side as well, and I enjoy that. Actually, it's healthy. As I found out as I'm getting older, what benefits my body. So I understand. I get it. Believe me, I get it.
That's amazing.
And then just more and more requests and more attendance we get for vegan events encourages me to bring forward more items, more flavorful items, unique things that's not seen anywhere. I try and offer that.
Yeah, it's amazing. It's. I'm glad you brought that up. That how you try and make things unique, and I love that it's a fusion thing because you do that. I mean, you've done. I know Joe was going to be like about this, but your Alfredo is amazing. Like it's like
thank you.
I love what you've done with that and it's something I never even thought of even trying to do how you do it, and it's just it's so good. And I love that you add vegetables to it, and it's not just some bland plate of pasta. Like you actually put effort into it, and I just all of your food is amazing, but I love that you actually challenge yourself and you actually like do go out and try and find these things that make your food taste so
absolutely.
good.
John says that because he always just talks about pasta every time he talks about food. So
because I'm a pastatarian,
so I always have to bust his chops. Nothing. I'm sure I'm not a big pasta guy, so I always go for the other things. But I'm sure that dish is as good as he says.
Yeah. But I mean, all of your food is good, but I love that, and I love those Brussels sprouts are incredible. Your potato flats, I could go down the whole menu and just. But I love that you just mentioned that you put so much effort into it because you can tell. I mean, in every bite you can tell that you challenge yourself, and it's so good.
Yeah, absolutely. Look, there's no reason to compromise the flavors in anything you do. There's no reason for that. There's so many flavors you can incorporate, and I Indianize a little bit as well with different things, Indian and Thai, Indian and Chinese, Indian and Italy. And then it's just cutting out some of the items, you can form a wonderful, delicious vegan meal out of it. And why not? Why even compromise the flavors where you can add other things to bring forward other unique flavors, create a new recipe that benefits everybody. When I serve the Alfredos in a different form, people, they'll think it's Alfredo. But once I tell them it's vegan Alfredo, it's like, oh my goodness, I did not know that. And then and they enjoy the benefits of it. I enjoyed, absolutely enjoyed cooking. I enjoyed cooking with coconut milk. That's automatically vegan. And I just love cooking with coconut milk. So it just adds another benefit.
Yeah, and it's so versatile too. That's the best part about it. But
absolutely.
Another thing I want to bring up too is you brought up how you're about the community and you're so compassionate and everything like that. And absolutely true. I love that about you is I had brought this up earlier that you actually come out from working and to come out to talk to everybody while they're eating, just to check up on everybody. And I love that, how you actually like come out and communicate to everybody. Even if it's a crazy busy night, like you're still out there when you get a chance to come out and talk to everyone. And that's one of my favorite things about your restaurant is you actually like care about your patrons. And I love that because nobody else really does that. I appreciate
thank you. I think it's the right thing to do. You go out and you visit, you talk to your guests. It's the same way when, I think of it this way. And the reason I wanted to create that format is of dining, a unique experience is, let's think of it this way. When we have holidays, Christmas, Thanksgiving, when family comes over, if children, the kids come over, and then entire families here dining, that's the experience I want to create, special experience each and every day for each and every guest, as often as possible that I can create. And food brings people together. Food brings community together. And
Absolutely.
That's what I wanted to do. And you cater to food, cater to the community and their needs. And then that's how I think of it. It's to give a unique experience. And if you do everything right, money part will follow. So it's not even on the list. Just do the things right, in and out, with your heart and soul. Give it your all. That's all I'm asking. And I encourage other restaurants, if possible, whenever in a timely manner. If it's an absentee owners, bring your chefs out to talk to your guests. They would enjoy it, to see who created the meal and get feedback. And I look at it this way: any feedback, I can only get better from that. I can only get better.
Absolutely.
And that's how I look at it. And that's what I look forward to. And one thing I'll reveal it right now. I'll tell you guys. You guys will not even believe it if I say so. Stepping out of the box to me is doing a podcast. I am nervous of stepping out of the box. But it's something new that I have to develop. And it's the same thing. You made me feel comfortable doing this. And I thank you.
Thank you.
Each day, you will not believe me, but this is the honest truth. Each day that I go out and visit a table, I am still nervous.
Oh.
Believe it or not, I'm still nervous.
It's amazing that you do that, though. I'm glad you actually challenge yourself to go out there and do that. Because I have stage fright as well, and I still go out there. I do free hugs, so even that is I prepare myself for that every day because when I do that, because I have that same anxiety, so I totally get that.
And when I make a table visit, what's priceless to me is I can't describe the feeling. Is just to see the smile on our guests when they eat the food. And then you start communicating with them, and then the nervousness goes away, and then you feel comfortable.
Absolutely.
And it just, whenever I'm tired during the day, as soon as I go out and talk to the guest, it energizes me.
Absolutely.
It energizes me. And I love that, actually. And then I feel comfortable. Then I start making more and more visits. So to this day, I'm still nervous talking to them, meeting new people, and then just making them make sure that they're comfortable. Once I feel that they're comfortable, they're enjoying it, then I feel comfortable myself. And anytime that anybody is dissatisfied with anything, we'll replace it right away. Here you go, please, on us.
Noticed and appreciated by everybody, and so I hope you keep doing that. And I have a couple questions. I actually spoke with an individual who was from India as well, and she was telling me a little bit about veganism within the Indian culture. And she was saying that vegetarianism in India is fairly easy to practice, but veganism is a whole other hurdle to jump. Could you shed a little more insight or your thoughts on veganism within Indian culture?
Yeah, I think it's a hurdle because it's more of a dairy base in India, more rural farm base. So it'll be a hurdle. But as people find out certain benefits are there, the health benefits, then slowly but surely it will hopefully pick up in lifestyle changes and health benefits also. So the one step forward I definitely do like it's okay. That's one step up from your regular is plant-based, vegetarian, and from there to vegan. So taking a step from vegetarian to vegan. It's not a big step. It's just cutting out a couple of things here and there, and then you're there. So it's not much of a hurdle from there. So I think it's just a way, like I said, it's dairy based. It's not a rural farm based. So they have cattle. They rely on dairies in the cooking process as well that they use. I said clarified butter is the most commonly used from generations, from centuries. So it'll be a process, but it will continue. It's the hurdle from one step to the above. It's not a big challenge. So hoping it would happen.
As you were mentioning earlier in the show, you just make a couple switches and a lot of it's still right there. And then you're not taking away, you're actually adding to a lot of your recipes.
Oh, absolutely. And it's once you know the flavors are there, without compromising anything, it's easy to create those recipes, vegan recipes. So once you add the same flavor to it, if I do a testing between, let's say clarified butter recipe and sauteing something with oil-based recipe, people will know the difference in that. So it's easier. It's easy to create those recipes and vegan recipes from it, as long as you keep those same flavors and you introduce a little bit intense in flavor, so it doesn't compromise the flavors. It adds the benefits to it. So if it adds the benefits to it, if it adds the health benefits to it, why not? Why not?
I like to highlight how important what you do is, both for the vegan movement, because one of the biggest problems in the vegan movement is people become vegan for great reasons, whether it's health, the animals, the environment, whatever is their preference.
Right.
But then a lot of times they stop being vegan because they live in a non-vegan world where options aren't around. They don't feel welcome. They don't feel like they have the same opportunities as people who basically just eat whatever they want. And your restaurant is a great way to both not just accommodate them. No one wants to feel like they're a burden, but almost embrace them and really make them feel like they're part of a community by bringing other vegans in there as well and showing that there's other vegans out there. There's great food. You can take your non-vegan friends here too. And it's really
Absolutely.
a great way you can make sure veganism is a sustainable part of your life and our community. So I think what you're doing is great.
Well, thank you. It's the same thing. You know, it's part of the community. So why not do something that everybody benefits from?
Another thing I want to bring up is you also said how you were thinking outside the box, and you're absolutely right about that too, because all these restaurants right now are closed and they can't really operate because of the situation going on. But you have managed to get through that, and you're still actually catering to people, and it seems like you're doing really well. And it's amazing how you're able to handle that.
Oh, absolutely. So far, we're truly blessed with the business that we're getting since middle of March, that the virus has brought our attention to. So we've been thriving so far, delivering to neighborhoods straight to people. If they're afraid to come out, we'll take the food to them. Contactless delivery, we'll take the food to them. You know, so they benefit from that as well. And it's the same thing. You know, what makes us successful is what everybody has done for us. I just cook the way it's supposed to be done, fresh, flavorful, with keeping people in mind. But the true success comes from the supporters, people that have supported us. Mm-hmm. And I thank each and every one of them. So I don't think myself of doing anything special, but just continue what I do. Communities just around us, you guys, when you visit the restaurant so many times, it's the support you bring forward.
Oh, yeah.
And that's what keeps us going. That's what kept us going throughout, making it successful. And it's because of that, it encourages us to bring forward special things, be more creative. So I thank each and every one of you for that. Well, I don't take success for anything. It's just you are the one that made me who I am today. So I thank you.
Well, we thank you because you actually do it, and we love what you're doing.
So what plans do you have coming up in the next few months, Hamir?
Actually, right now it's our business. Our prep time, our business model has changed because of carryout. And where we used to have a downtime when we were a sit-down restaurant back in the days, downtime used to be after lunchtime from 2:30 to maybe 5:30. We used to do a lot of prep in undisturbed. Now it's 3 o'clock. The order starts, so everything has to come off the stove, the big pots, so we can start sautéing. So it keeps us busy now too. Yeah. So just to find different way of creating new recipes is challenging to bring forward specials. We used to bring forward specials almost even on a daily basis, but it keeps us challenging. So hopefully, I'm planning a different way of working things out to use different ingredients or combinations of certain things that we already have to bring forward certain things. And that's what I'm working on right now. In future, hopefully, if we are allowed to reopen a restaurant with limited occupancy, of course, we'll do it safely with everyone's safety in mind. So hopefully it will give us a little bit of time to bring forward new things. I do want to develop my sauces, actually, in the bottle. We already have one called Peri Peri sauce, which is also vegan, actually, and gluten-free. So, it's a sauce that you've seen on potato flats and our sauté vegetables. So it's many uses. So those are the things I want to bring forward. I want to focus on the bottles of the sauces where you can just have it in your cabinet. It's ready to use. So if it saves time on certain days, if your life is busy, here you go. Just open a bottle of sauce, add vegetables of your choice. Here you go. You have a wonderful gourmet meal. So and that's the future I'm thinking of. More and more sauces, slowly but surely. Come up with recipes that are shelf stable, and so I don't have to add preservatives to it. It's all natural. That's the kind of thinking that I'm going forward right now. Just to think something that's healthier also. As far as naturally preserved.
And what would your advice be to anyone who works in the food industry or restaurant business who may be thinking about including vegan options or even hesitant about including vegan options in their menu?
To me, it's very simple to create vegan options. As long as you change your base of certain things, and using, instead of butter, you use oil, and add the more intense flavor of something that you do in the spices blend to just increase the flavor of it. It doesn't compromise anything. So it's easy to bring forward. I would encourage more and more restaurants to bring that forward because there's a huge vegan community out there. They would support, actually, what you're bringing forward. So, and if they're hesitant to do it, I would encourage them to bring forward at least 2 or 3 items that they can prepare easily. They can be bring forward easily without the other prep and compromise. It's doable. So at least start slowly and increase your way up from there. And it's if I can incorporate in my cooking, and it's doable. It's absolutely doable. And then the community it's wonderful vegan community. They've supported us throughout the years, and then I thank them. I thank them. I'm here because support from many, as I said, and I do thank them. And thank you.
Well, you're very, very welcome. We're coming up on half hour. I don't like to keep you away from your Sunday afternoon too long, but John, any last questions?
You pretty much nailed everything I wanted to talk about, but I just, again, thank you so much for being so compassionate and kind to everybody, and just, I love what you're doing, and I wish you the best of luck, and you're amazing.
Well, John, thank you. I mean, thank you for bringing out the best in me every time you visit the restaurant, every time everybody visits the restaurant. So I appreciate it. I appreciate it. And John, I enjoy your pictures. You're great. I mean, I use your pictures to advertise during vegan nights on my Facebook page. So
thank you. Thank you.
Thank you kindly.
Absolutely.
Thank you kindly.
And Hamir, if anyone wants to find you online or order food from your restaurant, how can they do that?
Oh, absolutely. Our menu is online at hamirs.com. And also our telephone number is 717-430-4173. So feel free to give us a call. We're generally closed on Sundays unless we have special events or if we're open every now and then. But absolutely, you can look us up on the Facebook under Hamir's Indian Fusion. You can follow us as well for more vegan recipes that we bring forward. You can enjoy. Absolutely. And just easy to just use a phone number. If you have just call us. If you instead of online and messaging back and forth, you can use a messenger. Feel free to give us a call. I'm always in the kitchen. If you have any question, I'll be more than happy to talk to you.
And once everything opens up in a few weeks to months, hopefully, you can stop by on his restaurant at South George Street in York City.
Absolutely. Thank you. We'd love to see everyone.
Well, thank you again, Hamir. We can't express our gratitude enough. This has been great. And if anyone out there wants to be a guest on the show, you could just send us an email at bekindpodcast@gmail.com or message the Animal Advocates Facebook page or reach out to any of us. But again, Hamir, thank you so much, and I hope you have a great rest of your day.
Thank you, gentlemen. My pleasure, and thank you for having me. It means a lot. Thank you.
Thank you. Take care.